Hey, good afternoon. This week we are reading Parshas Vayeitzei. So Yaakov is leaving his home, running away from Esav, and he meets Rachel. He somehow immediately loves Rachel, and he wants to marry Rachel. Of course, the problem is that she's got a father whose name is Lavan, who is a trickster, and he ends up switching the wives, the girls, and he ends up marrying Leah, unbeknownst to him, and then he also ends up marrying Rachel. So now he has two wives, and the Torah tells us that Leah actually refers to her as that she was hated. And a lot of discussion about what that means. It doesn't necessarily mean she was actually hated. It means she wasn't loved as much. And she starts having children. And she has Ruvain and Shimon and Levi. And then she has a fourth son. And she names him Yehuda. And the name Yehuda, she says, is Yapam Odes Hashem. This time I'm going to Odes Hashem. I'm going to thank Hashem. I'm going to praise Hashem. She's giving the name Yehuda was after the idea of thanks and gratitude and praising Hashem for what she received. And we had taught that she knew that there would be 12 tribes. And now she's got 4 tribes, and she knows there's going to be 4 wives. So there were 4 wives, so she had more than her share. And therefore, wow, I've got 4, something special here. And the Gemara tells us that Gemara quotes Rabbi Yochanan in the name of Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai that says that from the time of creation, there was no one who praised Hashem until Leah came along. And she praised him upon the birth of Yehuda. Very strange statement. Until the time of Leah, you had Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Adam, Noach. Nobody praised Hashem. It's a little hard to understand that. It doesn't make any sense. So Rabbi Avraham Pam explains as follows. He says that, of course, there were people who praised Hashem before, but the praise of Leah was unique and something that it was different than in any other praise from before. And the idea was as follows, that human nature is such that when something good happens to you, something really great happens to you, or you're well, for us we're already older, well, you're getting married, you meet the girl of your dreams, you have a child, or you win the lottery. Who knows? All kinds of amazing things that could happen, and you're like overjoyed and excited. Wow, isn't this amazing? And you feel at that moment so supercharged. And then time goes on, and say in the case of the money, you weren't wealthy, you were poor, or whatever, you became wealthy, and it was like unbelievable. And then all of a sudden you get used to it. Right? It's nice, but certainly don't have that adrenaline flowing, that same excitement you had at the original time. And the same thing with many other things, pretty much everything. You have a child, it's amazing. And then you start waking up every night because the kid is crying. You start changing diapers. And it's not exactly the same excitement. It's great, whatever, but it's not the same. So what happens is that our feelings that we had in the initial moment dissipate over time. And that's just the way we are. So what Leah did was she named her son Yehuda. She named him for thanks and appreciation and praise. To be able to, every time she would call her son Yehuda, it would remind her, oh, remember how I felt when he was born. Remember that moment when he was born, and I was so thankful how special it was that I had this child. That's why she named him Yehuda. So the thanks and praise that she gave was not just thanking Hashem, but it was done in a way that it was going to continue and maintain the level of appreciation that she had in the very beginning would continue on. And we should be trying to do the same thing. We also find this idea with inspiration, right? That you're inspired all of a sudden, and then it goes away after a while. How do you get it back? So one interesting way to get it back is, and we were just talking before about pictures, right? Photographs. Photographs is a great way to get it back. Everyone has your photo album from some simcha that you had, right? We take the wedding album, What's that wedding album doing? How many times has anybody looked in the last little while at their wedding album, or the bar mitzvah, or whatever it might be, or in general photographs? You take them soon early on, you look at them a lot, and then they go on the shelf. And what happens? Yeah, sometimes they just sit on the shelf. But if you ever pull them out, when you do pull those pictures out and you look at them, it brings back, oh, yeah, there's so and so. I remember that person, my good friend there, and your relative. It brings back feelings and memories in a way that really reignites a feeling that you had at that time. And that's what photographs do. And that was the name Yehuda. The name Yehuda was designed to do that. So really, I mean, I can't name every one of our kids Yehuda, but we can try to do things that are going to keep the memories alive, so to speak, or to reignite the spark that we had, and either do actions or have mementos that we can look at and recall to bring back the feeling that we had the original time of whatever particular happiness it was, and really have that level of appreciation. And just as, I mean, maybe not an aside, but the Jewish people are known as Yehudim, really from Yehuda, because that was the majority of the people living at one point in time. And most of the Jews now come from the tribe of Yehuda, but we're called Yehudim because that is a character trait that we're supposed to have, maintaining a level of appreciation for everything that Hashem does for us all the time. And as well as appreciation for what others do for us as well. And we will hold it there. Have a great Shabbat.